Well, good evening. This is Don Palayo coming back to you here from the old homestead, I guess you'd say. I am, it is New Year's Eve. I was thinking about going out, but gotten to a point now where it's like I'm 48. There's a lot of troublemakers out there on New Year's Eve, and I don't really feel like being out. I don't know. Maybe it's just my getting older. um, well, I was thinking, of course, I have been making plans for quite some time for 2025. I hope everybody's making some goals to better themselves in the new year. It's always that time to be thinking about it and what you want to accomplish in the new year. My goals, I have a few different goals for next year. Financial primarily. I'm trying to get some debt paid off. I am trying to build up savings. I spent the last 2 years, I've spent a lot of money on medical stuff. I had some dental work done. I think I spent like 4,000 out of pocket for that. I met my out of pocket for my medical this year. That was 4,000 out of pocket. So the last 2 years, I've spent like $8,000 just on medical stuff, and it's like this day and time, it's kind of tough when you start throwing money around like that to maintain your cash reserve. So, I'm hoping not to have any more medical stuff for a while. I'm gonna be working on building my cash reserve back up this year. I I'm contributing to my retirement accounts, of course. That's not changing. Uh, I raised my percentage on my retirement plan at work a few months back, so I may have done it a little bit early. But yeah, I'm trying to really. I've got multiple financial goals all going on at the same time, and it's I work my full time job. I do some door dashing in the evenings part time. I probably do that maybe about 15 to 20 hours a week, and I make about an extra 12 to 1,500 bucks a month, doing that. And that when you can take that money and throw it at debt or throw it at into your savings, that actually does help a lot. um I I'm really kind of concerned. Many of you might know I do work in finance. I have a finance career. I've worked in financial services since about, gosh, 2001, I guess. No, actually, before that, I worked as a teller in a bank in 1999. So I've been in banking and finance for, my entire career pretty much. I work as a financial advisor now at this point. I don't work directly with clients. I actually am a associate financial advisor working in a wealth management group with my current company. So it's interesting. I do enjoy my job. We work with high net worth clients, and it's interesting to see because I've worked with high net worth clients before. It's interesting to see the divide and the disparity between the affluent and see how they're making their money, and then those that are average Americans. Um, and the wealthiest people, of course, have their own businesses. They're wealthier than the doctors. They're wealthier than any standard employee, or some doctors have their own practices, will be running their own business, but in general, business owners are the wealthiest, most affluent clients. Doctors do well. High paid doctors do very well. So don't feel bad for the doctors. They're making plenty of money. Uh, but and we've got people in finance. We've got even some people that have but we have blue collar type people, but they've started companies. They started businesses that are doing blue collar type jobs, and they've made a good bit of money too. So There's a lot of different directions that you can go. If you have that entrepreneurial drive, when I was in my 20s, I thought about starting a business, and I had played around with different ideas, but it's not really my strong suit. I think where my issue is I have very difficult time. I'm not very creative. Creativity is a difficult thing for me. I'm not very good at that. And typically people that are good entrepreneurs they're very good at thinking outside the box. That's not me. I am a very in the box person, which may or may not be a good thing, but I'm good with numbers. Especially when those numbers have dollar signs in front of them. I have a strong background in investing, and it's just that's been where my interest has been. Um, so, my contact's floating. Um, Anyway, we're going into 2025. So I'm setting all these goals. I do have some fitness goals too. Most of you know, I've talked about it before in previous videos. I had bariatric surgery back in October. From my high, I was 315 pounds at my high. Today, this morning, I weighed in at 242.7, or no, 240, I'm sorry, 242.5. So I have lost 72 and a half pounds. That was basically since July. July was when I hit my high point. But even as late as October, right before the surgery, I was still well over 300 pounds. Right before you have bariatric surgery, they have you go on a diet for the 2 weeks before surgery. And I lost maybe 12 pounds or something like that, with following that diet. And they want you to do that so that your liver shrinks up. They want your liver to get firmer and less fatty. And I lost 12 pounds following their liver shrinking diet. And surgery seemed to go well. It's not fun. It's not a fun way to lose weight. After you've had bariatric surgery, you're on liquid diet for 2 weeks. You gradually move up to soft foods, and then eventually they move you up to solid foods. But even once you get to solid foods, you can't eat like you did before. I still can't eat the way I think I'm 11 or 12. It'll be 12 weeks this Friday since my surgery. And I still can't eat very well. So there's certain things like meat. I have a very difficult time eating meat now. I have to really take my time, really chew it up. I can't eat nearly the amount that I did before. They do want me drinking a half gallon of water every day, at least 64 ounces of water a day, which for me is a lot. I am doing fairly well with that, but especially taking all I do take multivitamins, and they have me taking pills to prevent ulcers. That's kind of standard with that surgery. They keep you on a medication to prevent any kind of ulcers from forming. They said, I think they want me to take that for the first 6 months after the surgery. So I'm taking all this medicine, and it's like, so it's good to get enough water to kind of rinse all that out. Um, I I'm also, one of the things that I've been thinking about this, and maybe you guys can help me with this. This might be something that you can give me some recommendations on. I was thinking about 2024, and it's like this year. I mean, I've done a few fun things this year, mainly involving going and seeing my daughter. I have a daughter that lives in Florida, with her mom, and so I go and visit her as often as I can. But other than that, I've just been working. This whole year is like it's been the medical thing, and it's been work. And it's like I have had almost no fun this year. I hate saying that. That's going to change in 2025. And so I was looking at monthly, every month, I'm going to find a day where I'm going to go and just do something fun. And I was trying to think of something fun I could do, not very expensive, kind of on the cheap side. I'm trying to save money and trying to build my savings up. So something kind of on the inexpensive side that would be fun to do in January. And I'm thinking about it, and it's like, what can I do in January? It's cold outside, so it's probably going to be an indoor thing. I thought about going to the movies. I thought about going bowling, going and playing pool. I don't know. I'm uh, I'm not really sure yet. I'm still thinking about that. Give me some ideas if y'all can comment in the video and give me some ideas of some fun things to do in January. By the way, I live in North Carolina, just so that you're aware where I'm at. Um, so I'm hopeful, and this is, I said in my very first video that I made on this channel, I don't want to get too political with this channel. I have said that I voted for Donald Trump, and I did so mainly because I feel most optimistic with him that he can get things going financially for the country. We have a lot of problems right now. The stock market has done fairly well, but the main reason it's done well is because we're money printing. They're still doing quantitative easing, basically. They just don't call it that anymore. They're just printing and printing and printing and printing, and the more money you print, part of the reason why we're getting all this inflation is all the money printing. And inflation impacts the stock market too. So the stock market's, absorbed a lot of those dollars that have been printed, and it, causes equity prices to rise. I think at some point our government is going to have to get a handle on this debt. Some of them seem to think that they can just keep running debt up like this, and I don't understand the logic. The interest payments that we're making on the debt are getting worse and worse, becoming a larger and larger portion of our government's expenditures. And, we keep going like that, it's sooner or later, the wheels are going to come off. You can't keep doing that. At least not in my universe, you can't. I think that's got to be fixed. I don't know if Trump's going to be the one to fix it. Trump seems, he's been asking about just removing the debt ceiling entirely. That personally, I don't find that to be a very good idea. I think our government needs a budget. We haven't had an official budget in like 15 years. I mean, it's been a while. There are virtually no organizations outside of our government that do not have a budget. So, our government needs to have a budget, and our politicians are just brainless. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. It's just, it's not, I'm not talking about one party over the other here. It's like they're all guilty of it. And it's like the more we do this, we're basically just robbing, from the future generations of our country, our kids and our grandkids. It's what we're doing. I mean, they're going to have to pay all this off. They're going to be responsible for those interest payments. And I don't know. It's got to be we need a leader that's going to get it fixed at some point. And the Republicans I know I've heard this, that they feel like they want to get growth going in our economy and outgrow it. But I'm going to be honest, I don't feel like that we've been doing that, trying that for a while, and I'm starting to feel like, the last time that worked was back in the 1990s with Bill Clinton. And it wasn't Bill Clinton that did it. It really was the tech boom. You know, we had Microsoft, the advent of Microsoft and the internet, and it just completely revolutionized everything. And the United States economy benefited from that. This just breakthrough technology, spreading throughout the globe, and the United States was a big recipient of the benefits. Reaped a lot of the benefits of that, and that's the reason why we had a budget surplus for a while. Newt Gingrich and the Republicans in Congress did try to rein in spending too, but really it was the tech boom. It was Microsoft and everything that spun off with the whole advent of the internet. That's the reason why we had a budget surplus there for a while. But we can't depend on breakthrough technology to rescue us every decade. I do feel like there are, still a lot of good opportunities. I think the AI thing is, you've heard a lot about AI and the development of AI and how that's going to impact things, but I'm already kind of looking past that to quantum computing. That's something that's going to be coming up. I think that'll be the next big IT thing after AI runs its course. Quantum computing, those are computers that are able to do operations that's even outpace supercomputers, just completely, just drastically, outpaces them. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I've picked out a few companies that I've put some investment dollars into, and the stocks are pretty cheap in that industry right now, because you're looking out 5 or 10 years with that. So anyway, who knows, right? I've had a good year. I mean, 2024 has been a pretty decent year for me. I've lost all this weight, which that's probably the best thing that's happened to me this year. 2025 for me, I'm really focused on my own personal finances and getting that strengthened. I hope to take the CFP exam. I have thought about taking that CFP exam, the Certified Financial Planner designation. I thought about it for years. 10 years ago, I was thinking about it, and I never did it. And here I am at 48 years old. I kind of kicked myself that I didn't do it back in my early 30s. It's like, yeah, I probably should have done that back then, but there's no such thing as, getting something too late. I'm going to be going into my 50s. I'll still be working another probably at least 15 years. So it can benefit me over the next 15 years. I'm hoping to take that. I was going to take it in July, but I'm really going through the books methodically right now, and I want to be an expert in all of it, and so I'm thinking about pushing it back to November, and we'll see what happens then. I hope all of you have a great New Year. Stay safe. If you're out and about, there are people that make stupid decisions and drink and drive, unfortunately, and every year there's people that get killed out there. So be careful. Keep alert while you're driving. Not just your own driving, but be aware of other drivers, and just be safe out there. If you again have any good ideas for activities in January, let me know. I'm going to be looking around my local area here, trying to find some things to do. Appreciate all of you watching, and I will talk to you again. And here in the near future, 2025, I expect to be putting out videos at least on a weekly basis. I'd really like to get it to daily, but I got a lot on my plate, so we'll see what happens. Y'all take care.